All right, what's up, guys? Happy Monday. Sorry, running a bit behind today. I have been just a bit overwhelmed the last couple of weeks, and things are just a bit crazy right now. But here we are, kicking off another week, wrapping up a month on this late September afternoon. Jump into chat, say hello. We don't have a ton of time today, so I'll run through as many call outs and shout outs as I can to get started before we kick off the broadcast here officially in a couple of minutes. Silbor Q, always good to see you guys over on D Live. Shout out to all of you watching on Rumble. Hit that thumbs up button for us if you don't mind. Really appreciate all of you who do that. Jumping over into pilled.net, I see Patriot 714 and Floyd in there early today. Floyd hooking us up with a MAGA Rita Monday cookie. Thank you, Floyd. Delia, good to see you out there in Arizona. HL Paco joining as well. There's Lightsphere, Lance, and R. Harrell. Barb Robbins, Valhalla, so many of our regular friends in there early, and I appreciate you guys so much. Range Pony, Left MD, what's up, guys? Good to be with all of you. Pensitter checking in from across the pond over in England. What's going on, my friend? Good afternoon, Mr. Gerardo, Kaz1012, Brendolyn Gowerly, and Qhio17. Pat McFly's out there as well. Cynthia and KG, Facts Not Fear, Satire for Retards, hooking us up with 100 gold pills. And there's Maxanon saying hurricane survivor is here, discombobulated but safe. Glad to hear it, Max, and it's good to see you. Boys Blanc, welcome, and thank you for the cookie. Todd M, what's going on? Welcome, welcome. It's great to be again with all of you to wrap up the month of September, kick off a fresh week. We'll see how this week plays out. Hopefully I'll be able to do all of the streams. I'm done making promises though, because every time I think we're back to an easier cadence or life is going to slow down a bit, I just have more and more kind of piling up here. But I'll get into some of that after we come back from the intro and have a few more people in here, some updates on some things I have going on in my personal life that might cause my attendance to be a bit spotty over the next month. I'm so tired of it, but just one thing after another, and I hope you guys will understand. Mama's always right. Susie QAnon, Lucy Anders, good to see you guys. I hope all is well. It's 4:01. Let's start the show. Are we looping sound? Is it coming through clear? Do we have any issues? Give me a 5x5. Just let me know. I'm going to play the intro, but I'll keep an eye on the chat. I hope I didn't screw anything up, but you know, that's just how it goes. Roy Stones and Bones, good to see you, my friend. We'll be right back, everybody.
We will make America strong again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Y'all for tuning in, Patriots United, doing what we gotta do to win. Be addicted, the MSM, and now we're moving in. And once we take over, we won't ever move again. Where we go on, we go all. I say it with pride. No, we won't run, we won't fall. We're right by your side. The demons have taken hold, but none of us will abide. Stand strong and stand bold, that's how we'll survive. 412 is the production. Monday through Friday, deplorable discussions. We're making it hard for the two state to function. Every time they switch up the narrative, we debunk it. Adult hero is the power that's controlling the plight. With all you patriots behind them, cause we're all in this fight. So many rhyme for so long, but we're giving them sight. Trapped in the world of darkness, but we're bringing them light. You may even find yourself in a different life. A lot of us have, and honestly, that's perfectly fine. Because exactly where you are at this moment in life is where you're supposed to be at this moment in time. It's all by design, the patriots are holding the line. They must have lost theirs, thinking they're controlling our minds. So many trapped in mental prisons don't know they're confined. They're just slaves in the system till the roles are assigned. That's sad, the good news is that we're waking them up. They have monopolies on minds, but we're breaking them up. Everything you thought was news, they were making it up. When we ascend, all the tyrants won't be making the cut. Let them all burn in the hellscape they create. We the people already mapped out our escape. We hold each other by the hand as we all elevate and go to a different place. They can never get chased. When I look into the future, I can see that it's bright. When this history is written, they will see that we're right. We formed our own community and the circle is tight, but I expand the circle with every word that I write. The pen is sharper than the sword when you wield it with might. Why do you think they try to kick us off all the sites? People hate America, punish us out of spite. We are the beacons of hope in the darkness of night. So let's go, strap in, yeah, get ready for the ride. Watch the water, we're witnessing the turning of the tide. Feel the passion and the fire that you got burning inside. Take the narrative they're feeding you and turn it to the side. We're alerted to the lies, we're preaching with the truth. We know the plan they devised, they're invading the youth. Now we're only sending vibes to start raising our boots. These demons all weaponized. Now we're raising our troops. Now we're raising the roof and sounding the alarm. Remember that it's always darkest before the dawn. Life is a game of chess. They want to use you as a pawn. You're only useful until you're not useful. Then you're gone. But not us. We're on the right team where we belong. Everybody is invited, so come follow along. We refuse to say things are right, knowing they're wrong. Adol Nero, take the mic and take flight to the song.
And now, straight from the Steel City, it's your host, 412 Adol Nero.
What's up, guys? Hope you're all having a good Monday. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today, kicking off another week of broadcasts here on 412 Productions. We're wrapping up the month of September. We are in the last day, September 30th, 2024. My name is Adol Nero, and thank God with me today is Mr. Tennessee Homesteader, who almost had some very serious accident with all the rain and the storms on the homestead. Tien, I'm glad you're safe, man. The pictures you sent were alarming, to say the least, and it sounds like the man upstairs had your back, or at least kept you kept you away from danger just enough over the weekend, man. That's some crazy shit.
Yeah, definitely. When you have to look at bad things positively, and I mean, obviously, even compared to what further east from me, more or less in the South Carolina border, they got hit pretty hard because of a dam and washout. I mean, right now Interstate 40, you can't go to North Carolina normally because Interstate 40 is out. So that's a pretty big deal because that's major east-west. But yeah, so if do you want to do the sponsors, then go, and then I'll do that, or is Pinata joining us?
He's still live. I'm guessing he'll be over here shortly, but I don't know what his plans are today.
Yeah. Oh, well, I didn't want
I'd
to.
assume he is at some
Yeah.
point. But
No, I was just
no,
since I'm set up for sharing, I couldn't tell if he was in the room already or not. That's
yeah,
why.
go ahead and share, because we're still waiting on him. And
All
I
right.
wanted a few more people to get in here anyway, because I had a couple things I wanted to say about one of our viewers, and then also just some updates on things I have going on, just to kind of get people aware of that as well. So go ahead and do that, and then
Cool.
we'll jump
All
into
right.
some things.
Yep. So what you're seeing is 3 photos. The first one here on the let me set up the laser here.
Holy smokes!
Yeah. When I got, okay, so there's a wind. I have the staircase that goes to the second floor, and at the end of the staircase there's a window. And I looked, and I'm walking by the staircase. I look up, and I in the morning I said, I'm not supposed to see sky, because
Yeah.
there's trees. I'm not supposed to see the sky there. So I walk up out the window, and that's why you see this grid pattern on the photo here. It's the screen. I'm looking down to this tree.
Oh my goodness.
So later on, I came down, got dressed, came down. This is the tree. This is a 4-foot level,
Yeah.
right? So, and then its twin is right here, and we'll get to that one in a minute. So then I said, okay, So I started to walk down the driveway, and I went past this tree that wasn't down at the time. And I apologize. Let me reduce the size. Let me do something because you can't tell perspective. I'll be right back. Hold on, because I just slapped this together and I didn't realize that I had not done it from a perspective of being able to see. I'll just do two slides.
Yeah, Bella, he is very lucky it missed his home. He was explaining, we were talking in the pre-show a little bit, that had the wind been coming from the direction it normally does, that very well may have landed on their house and caused major damage and really even jeopardized his safety. So yes, very, very lucky
Yeah.
that it fell the way that it did.
Yeah, because this is what I was sharing with Adel is that the where I live, my house is oriented cardinal points, north, south, east, west. The wind pattern normally is from the west, sometimes a little bit from the southwest, is where 9.5 times out of 10 it'll come. This time, because of it was the hurricane, it came from the east, a little bit more northeast from the blow. That made the tree fall away from the house because it went down towards the west, which was, and I'll explain what ended up happening later. So I'm walking down the driveway and I get past this tree, which at the time was upright, to walk down the entire length of the driveway to see, what other issues I've had other than the one that I saw out the window. And on the way back, this was laying on the ground. And to show you how big it is, right? That's the same tree there. You saw the driveway below it. That's the 4-foot level.
That's yeah, that's
And that's the 4-foot level.
yeah. I mean, that would have squashed you like a bug.
Like a bug.
Yeah.
And so then, because the first tree that I saw was a twin, which that's what I call them, it's basically two oaks, or in this case, oaks, that have grown together side by side. They grew up as little trees side by side. So it's actually two trees, one on the left, one on the right. The one that fell was the one on the right if you're looking at it from the house. But the one that was left standing was whenever there was a wind. Okay, so by the afternoon, the wind pattern shifted and the wind started coming from the southwest, which was also a benefit because what ended up happening is because the trees leaning into the southwest, so the wind blowing was keeping the tree upright because every time there was a gust, the tree would swing with the wind and then would kind of try to snap back when the gust died down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, every time I did that, looking down at the trunk, right down, right around here, down here, right? Because these guys are trimming the trees at this point, but I'm having it taken down. The right down there, where the trunk goes into the ground, I could see it move, where it would have a half-inch separation and then come back together again. Half-inch separation and come back together again.
Freaking terrifying.
Yeah. And you can see that's the window I took the photo out of from the first photo we saw, right?
Yeah.
That's the window looking down. But yeah, and you can see how big this tree is because this guy's way up here and he's not even at the top. And I already had this tree 2 years ago, the sales topped, which is basically they come into the tree and they cut the tops. And you can see how all of this kind of looks real thin, spindly up here and then thick down here. That's because it was topped. But unfortunately, I had to take it down. These two trees were they're somewhere between 75 and 100 years old. So was the other one that was on the ground. And they're all three are oaks. I hate it, but I had no choice. It's either that or the house.
Yeah, you got to protect your house. Yeah. Your house. I mean,
So right now I have this skid steer tore up my yard like you wouldn't believe. They had no choice. Yeah. But I got a ton of material, both from firewood as well as lumber, because each one of these branches that's here, these suckers are nearly almost a foot diameter. These guys, right?
Yeah.
Yep. I would have been a pancake for sure.
Well, thank God you're okay,
Thank you.
Tien.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
yeah.
And the ground was so saturated that we didn't, I didn't even hear the big one that fell, or this one, the one that fell naturally. We didn't even hear it. I don't know, because the ground's so saturated, it didn't make your, slam into the ground type of thing. It
So
just
did
was
it really
spongy.
fall? Isn't that the question? If there's a tree that
Yeah,
falls.
exactly. Now
Turns
I got,
out,
now I got
yes,
a
yes,
fence
it
line.
really does fall.
Yeah. Now I got a fence line to repair and debris all over the place. Not only from the trees and what they did, but just from the storm. You saw the driveway is just covered, and it's
Yeah.
all wet right now. So it really doesn't do you any good because you can't blow it. It's all stuck to the driveway. You got to wait till it dries out.
All right. Well,
Oh, fun.
you got your work ahead of you. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
but I'm alive.
Yeah, you're alive. That's the important thing. That is the important thing. Well, Tien, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're safe, and yeah,
Thank
lots of
you.
lumber and firewood too. So that's not the
Yeah,
worst thing in the world.
a couple of years from now, because it'll take a while for that to cure, dry out. But but it'll allow me to replace the stuff that's already dried out that needs to be split. So I figure I got about, if I were to split it before I dry it, I got about a week's worth of wood splitting to do.
Okay, that's uh, that's a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a lot.
And keep in mind that some of them are like 2.5 feet, 3 feet diameter chunks, right? So you gotta, you first gotta split those before you can actually start sawing them. Because I only got my biggest chainsaw is a 20-inch bar. The log's wider than the bar.
Yeah, yeah. You need a whole
Not
different.
you, not that you can't deal with it, but it's just
Yeah, it's just
shit.
tedious, very
Yeah,
labor
yeah,
intensive for sure.
yep.
Well, again, Tian, glad you're safe, man, and that you're able to, hang out with us today. And yeah, crazy. It's absolutely crazy. All right, let's bring Pinata in. Drunk Pinata, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. Just found a half an hour for this show to kind of go over a few things. I apologize for my tardiness there, but I brought the brought the reinforcements.
Yes, I appreciate it, man. What were you guys talking about today?
The JD Vance and Tim Walz debate, like how the media is treating it, and this is the same thing as they did with the other one, the of downplaying for the Trump and Kamala. It was we're downplaying Kamala because Trump's such a seasoned debater, and then all she has to do is literally show up, knowing the media is going to cover for her, and then oh my God, she did so well, she clearly won, and they're doing the same thing. They're saying that. Oh, he's afraid of letting Kamala Harris down. Like they're really using the word afraid, and I'm like, okay, that's ridiculous. So we'll see.
That's tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, that's tomorrow night.
All right. Shout out to Johnny Q for rating the channel. Appreciate you, man.
So and the other thing is, I don't know if you saw, I got a new toy thanks to Matrix for helping me. Methods helping me out with this sound thing. So when I talk now, you can actually see that there's vocals behind it,
Oh,
and
cool.
so that way, if like the video's stopped, you can still tell it's like not frozen. So that's been kind of fun to play with. New addition to the show. Doing some others OBS stuff in the future too as well. So we're upgrading.
Awesome. Love to see it. Love to see it. Well, it's great to have both of you guys here, and let's take care of our sponsor. We'll get into some other things here. Actually, before I get into the sponsors, I guess I'll do this now because I want to get into like the news and whatnot after the sponsors. First of all, guys, some sad news, very sad news. One of our most loyal and longtime viewers, listeners of the show, Best Nani ever has got some unfortunate health news over the weekend, or really it was Friday. I was going to bring this up Friday if I was able to do the show, but she posted this on Twitter. She says, "Hey fellas, I have a bit of bad news. On Monday, I was diagnosed with a mass on my left lung, and all of a sudden, I lost my vision. It was admitted to the hospital after a brain MRI. They found 5 tumors on my brain, and next Wednesday, I'm having gamma knife radio fervency to try to get those removed." This is part of a longer thread. Hold on, let me see if I can find the second um, tweet here. But point being is that Best Nani has been one of our like I said, I've seen her in the chat since my earliest days on PSB, and it's just absolutely heartbreaking news. So as always, if you don't mind, um, you know, put out some prayers into the ether for Nani. She's such a sweetheart. She's always been so kind and supportive. Um, Out in the chat, almost every single show, you guys see her out there. This one hits hard. This one hits really hard. Um, so the continuation of that was to target inoperable tumors, then to make sure I get the best treatment that I can for the original source of the cancer. I have a consult with the best of the best at UCLA Westwood Oncology. Please pray for me. I have many people in almost 50 states. Um, I don't know. I'm struggling. The thread isn't all in one like link, but anyway, point is that she needs our prayers and good vibrations, whatever it is you believe in. Please send her your thoughts, your prayers. Um, she's on Twitter at Roseanne 0480177. I'll put the Twitter link out there um, if you guys want to tag her in a message, reach out to her via DM, whatever it is. That's her Twitter handle right there. But again, she's been such a wonderful member of our audience and community, and been around as long as anybody that I can remember. So this one definitely hits hard. So again, just keep her in your thoughts and prayers, guys, and hopefully she's able to overcome this and join us back in the chat and be with us for quite a long time. But there you go. There's that. Also, I want to apologize for missing Friday's show. Just was unable to get everything I need to get done before leaving for Buffalo on Friday. Uh, so that was tough. But and I know I keep saying I'm gonna get back to like a more regular cadence and not miss as many shows. And it's just been a crazy summer, and things just continue to get kind of crazy. So here's the deal: I'm gonna be moving in about 2 weeks into a new place, and there's a ton of stuff to do. Obviously, to get ready to move, uh, to get this house I'm living in now ready to sell, to get the new place ready to live in, um, figuring out what I'm doing with a lot of the stuff I have here. And there's just a lot of moving pieces in my life right now, a lot of craziness going on. So I'm gonna do as many shows as I can the next couple of weeks, the next month or so. I'm gonna do everything I can to stay as consistent as possible, but I'm just letting you guys know now that don't be surprised if on random days, you get a tweet or a message from me on social media that, hey, unable to do the show on short notice. Those days are going to be inevitable over the next month, um, as I kind of transition to this new place. The good news is the new place is going to have a better spot for me to broadcast from. So we'll be getting rid of this green screen. I'll be setting up a better looking like studio and backdrop with a lot of the stuff that you guys have been sending me over the years. Will be on display. I'm actually really looking forward to kind of revamping the look and feel of the way we do the show a little bit. I'm gonna try to learn how to use OBS a little bit better too at that point, and kind of like I said, just redo the way I'm handling and producing this show, and hopefully give it a bit higher of a production value when this is all said and done. Like I said, a better looking studio, just a better way of going about bringing you guys, the broadcast. You guys deserve that. You guys have been with me for a very long time, and want to kind of up my game a bit. It's been very uh what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say stale because we have fun here, but yeah. see Frank's studio sells his house. I mean, this has been something that's been in the work for a while, but I did finally find a place that I like, that made sense, and it's gonna be a good change. But in the meantime, there's going to be some missed days and some time off that I'm going to need to take from time to time here. So I just want to let you guys know that now, so it just doesn't come as a surprise going forward. So anyway, that's all I got there. Most importantly, please just keep praying for our very good friend and family, Best Nani, as she fights these medical issues, and then we'll we'll deal with all the other stuff as we go. But first and foremost, thoughts and prayers out to Nani. Um, Floyd Jammer says Adel was impressed with Frank's studio. Frank's studio was amazing, and there was a really cool experience. I don't think I'll ever have anything quite like what he has going on, but there's definitely going to be more room in this new place to really kind of set something up that will be better than this little closet I'm in now. I saw Filter Dog say Adel's coming out of the closet. That's funny. Maven says, "What I'm hearing is all new imaging material on the horizon." I want to, like I said, I want to up my game on every level when it comes to the production here, and I'll probably need some help. I know other people have helped in the past, um, but I want to go about the way I produce the show completely differently. I need to get situated, and then I'll find some of you guys out there to help consult. I'll take some time to actually learn how to do this a bit better. But anyway, that's
Call Pixels. They'll have you buy an entire new system.
actually Pixels is exactly what I have in mind. I'm gonna invite him out to stay with me once I'm in the new place,
Oh,
and then
for setting up OBS and stuff like
yeah,
that.
just to, because I like to, like, he knows what he's doing a lot better than I do, and I figure having someone on site to help me set up new cameras, like I want to, like I've always used the laptop with the laptop camera. I've been using this laptop microphone, which doesn't sound great. Um, so I want to remove the laptop from the equation. I want to run the whole thing through the PC. Kind of figure out a better way, a more efficient way, and just a more professional way to bring you guys the show. So that starts with a new space to operate out of, and then we'll kind of build from there. But yeah, Pixels is definitely one that I had in mind to just come out because I haven't seen him in far too long to begin with, and this will be a good little project that I'm sure he'd be happy to help me with. For the cost of maybe some gas money to get out here and a few adult beverages once he's in the building.
Keep
Uh,
him away from overclocking your CPU.
what's that?
I say keep him away from overclocking your
Well,
CPU.
the good thing is I'm not trying to game the way he does. So
No, I know. That's what I say because you won't need a heater if you did that.
yeah, yeah. So there you go. Anyway, to anyone that's new to this show today, I'm sorry for all of the non-news related talk here to start things pre sponsors and whatnot, but just some housekeeping we need to take care of here
There was
before.
a question, and I presume the answer is yes. That if you were going to stay in PA.
Oh yeah, I'm literally moving 10 minutes from where I live now. So basically, without getting into too much detail, um, this house I'm in now, I do like it. It's just um, it was a great little starter house, but it doesn't have a lot of the features, we'll just say, that I was hoping for. I have a friend of a friend who owns a townhouse that does have a lot of those features I'm looking for. They need to get out from under it. I'm not going to get into details as to why, but they're offering me a really nice deal on it to where there's a lot of equity that'll be built into the deal. So it was just like an offer too good to refuse, essentially. So I'm going to be taking advantage of that, and I should be, like I said, I should be in there the next couple of weeks. And yeah, I'm looking forward to a change of scenery and being able to um, like I said, make some improvements to this whole operation, which is, like I said, been run pretty much the same way for the last 5 years. And what we'll do is once I'm in there and settled, we'll do a little celebration because this end of October will be 6 years since we started WTPI. I believe it was late October of 2018 that, we created the channel and really started broadcasting and putting content out there. So 6 years of doing this, 6 full years. It's crazy to think it's been so long. And I think it's definitely well overdue for a new look and feel and just some changes. So something to look forward to, something I'm really looking forward to. And again, I love you guys all so much for sticking with me through the last 6 years as we've gone through multiple platforms and iterations of um, how we bring you the show. But this is going to be a big level up, I think, coming here in the next few months. So stay tuned for that. Let's jump into sponsors, and then we'll get into the reason you're all actually here, some actual content around the news and what's going on here in the world. Yeah, 6 years, Lynn's over it. Isn't that wild? 6 years. When I started doing this, I never imagined we would go and have this much fun for this long. All right, Earth Garden Botanicals is our sponsor today, as always, up in Montana, run by Jolene, herbalist, health coach, badass patriot, and just wonderful overall human being. We love you, Jolene, and we love your products. We love your products. They're absolutely fantastic. Your white pine needle extract, really good for detoxing. There's also the sunshine and pine needle tea, which is also it's pretty much the same thing. One's like concentrate, one's more of like a sipping, enjoyable beverage. So go check that out. You got your CBD products, CBD oil tinctures, flavors like orange ginger, bergamot, huckleberry, cinnamon bliss, peppermint cherry, just all very good. CBD oil for pets. You got your arnica salve for your sore joints and muscles. That comes with or without CBD infused, depending on your preference. Check out the fire cider, your elderberry tonic to boost your immune system, and the Happy Trails critter juice, keeping the mosquitoes and insects off you. Stuff is amazing as well. Promo code 412 gets you 10% off your order. So go check it out, earthgardenbotanicals.com. Again, promo code 412 at checkout. All right. How about you get rich and retire, Adel? That sounds awesome, Timberjet. We'll keep working towards that too. Uh, maybe someday. All right. Where to start today? There's so many places. I'll start with this. I know it'll this is going to um inspire some good discussion. And I know TN, you'll definitely have some thoughts on this. So this is a clip from President Trump. I'll play it. And then I'll read what John Harold, formerly known as Patel Patriot, Mr. Devolution, who I have a lot of respect for, had to say about his thoughts on it. Help if I actually shared my screen. Getting everything set up. All right, take a listen.
Since she took office and are slated to be increased this year by more than 30%. Congratulations. You know, if and when we win, everyone says, sir, say, if they didn't cheat, I wouldn't even be here today. You know why? I wouldn't have to campaign. I'm here only because they cheat, and they cheat in this state, especially in Philadelphia. And I mentioned a couple of the areas, but for the most part, but Philadelphia is out of control. Detroit is out of control. Atlanta is out of control. Places are out of control. Because if there was no cheating, if God came down from a high and said, I am going to be your vote tabulator for this election, I would leave this podium right now because I wouldn't have to speak. We wouldn't have any problem. We have to have a landslide because they cheat so damn much. We have to have a landslide. Right, Mike? So I never say when I win. We're leading in all the polls. We're leading the state. But I say if and when, because I don't want to be obnoxious and I don't want to be foolish either. But if and when we're leading big, I win, I will cut. Too big to rig. You're right. We want to make it too big to rig.
All right. So That's the comments there. And then John says, I never say when I win, I say if I win, quoting Donald Trump. Says it's this rhetoric that makes me think they will steal it again this time. They just won't get away with it. As painful as it would be initially, a Kamabala win would expose our fraudulent system once and for all. And I'm just curious what you guys make of those comments. If if you think John's on to something, if you think Trump is just kind of being, I don't want to say politically correct because that's not the right word, but trying not to come off as overconfident, trying not to come off as um, arrogant or even give a false sense of confidence to voters where they might feel like they might not need to show up. I don't know how to read it exactly, but it was an interesting quote. Also, what I come away with from that is that not enough has been done to mitigate fraud. Right? He's basically saying like they're still going to cheat, and our main weapon against that, our main defense against that is to flood the zone with too many votes to overcome. It's not better election laws. It's not law enforcement doing their job. It's not anything like that. It's you, the legitimate voter, needs to show up in such massive numbers, such incredible numbers that they run out of voter rolls, they run out of fraud that they could actually get into the system to overcome what you guys bring to the table. So that's also the messaging I got is that nothing's really been done to stop this. It's the same bullshit. We're going to see the same tricks, the same cheating at the same levels that we did in
Um, I
2020.
don't, I don't think so. I mean, you got a lot of voter rules that have been changed. You got a lot of stuff with COVID that you're not going to have. You got Laura Trump and the other people at the RNC actually putting the people out there. You've got your momentum from Scott Pressler. You got the door knocking type of thing. They're chasing ballots, securing ballots. It's still yeah, it is still too big to rig mentality. But I think that what he's doing, you can't get complacent. We need every single thing.
Okay. Yeah, I see that angle of it, and I've been encouraged too by some of the things that I've seen. For sure, for sure I have. But just hearing him say that the way he did just made me kind of take a second take. But no, it's all good points, Pinata. All
Well,
very good.
it's that he says it and then he turns around and says we're leading in all the polls. So in a way, he's putting it out there for people to understand that until you change the laws, which you can't do, there's two parts to it. You can't change the laws from the federal government because they don't have the power. The federal government doesn't have the power. It's the states. So he's actually telling the people, not that we can do anything about it in this go around other than to vote en masse, but it's up to you guys to make the changes because you have to demand it from your state legislatures and not accept the bullshit that went on in PA or things like that. Crucify Shapiro for photographing himself with Soros. And
Right.
I almost mean that literally.
Almost. Almost. Not literally.
Oh,
Metaphor.
wait. No, sorry. I got my synonyms figuratively. But, me and ESL, what can I say? No, but and Pinata's right. There's been quite a few changes. Even in Georgia, as we speak, they're doing things related to voter paper ballot counts and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Liz Harrington has been posting a lot about that. And today was very interesting because she posted a short video they had to do about encryption keys and how they were not secure in Georgia, right? Which basically, and they were not only secure, they stored them in plain text, Adel. They stored the encryption key in plain text.
Amazing.
It's like, I feel like, who's running your shop? Podesta? Is your encryption key happen to be password?
Probably, honestly, the way
Oh
these
my
people
God,
operate, like the level of incompetence we become accustomed
Yeah.
to.
But
Like it probably
it
was
was the
password. But
same
don't worry,
thing.
they use the at sign for the A, so no one would
Yeah.
ever figure it out.
Yeah. It's like Tina Peters, it's the same thing that when Tina Peters showed up at the symposium with the Dominion machine file system, right?
Yeah.
They do these type of things. I think that a lot of, I think Trump is lowering expectations, not from a perspective of doubt of the winning, because that's where he comes in with the, but we're leading in all the polls. It's more or less so that people don't think, because I've been hearing this from other areas, don't think red wave. Don't speak red wave, let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's a swear word right now. If I will pistol whip the next person that says red wave.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the point, right?
Yeah.
It's envision red wave, don't speak red wave.
Yeah, exactly. Tien, Pinata, if you guys don't mind holding down the fort for a second, I have to go take care of something real quickly. I'll be back in like 5 minutes. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, just keep going.
Pinata, what do you think? You there? Oh no, I'm all by my lonesome. So, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because you have such dynamics going on. You have a lot of people. We all agree that we're being gaslit, right? Gaslighted, if you will, from a perspective of the media and everything else they're saying. The polls can be the manipulation, or they could, as the oversampling and things of that nature. It could also be the way that they're gaslighting people, which we know that by inflating them, not necessarily manipulating the poll itself, manipulating the input to the poll, right? So all that, but you look at the people reaction, particularly in the Black and the Latino community, and the non-acceptance, right? So if they go down the path of cheating to the point where, let's say, they announce, they project, because in election night it's a projection, right? It's the media's projection of who the president-elect is going to be, and that's what they say it, because it isn't November 5th where the presidential election happens. That happens on December 17th this go around. So we have this whole projection type of thing, and what the media is going to do. And I think right now that he's lowering the expectations for one. The other one at the same time is basically letting the people know that they're going to attempt to cheat. And maybe it's not just the ballot that they're going to try to cheat in. There's multiple activities that happen thereafter from election night that have to be met. And I think we've discussed this a little bit, the aspect of feeding into the Electoral College and then feeding back into the Senate for the confirmation or the ratification of the votes on January 6th. So all those are up. So that's quite a thing that Trump is doing right now by basically handing out line, if you will, from a fishing perspective, letting the drag out, right? Because that's, the media would pounce on it, and in a way, John pounced on it too, same way, gave them pause, right? And that's I mean, it depends on how far you take that pause. But I'm the same with Pinata. I think there's too many things, too many variables have changed since 2020, since 22 even. And I think that people are also primed for not accepting cheating and the aspects of the perception of the cheat. Because again, if they try to do what they did in 2020 on the presidential level, the presidential ballot, what do you think people are going to think if they say that Harris got 80 some odd million votes? Or let's put it this way, Trump gets a large number, beats the 2020 number or that was accredited to him, which is around 75 million. He beats that, and then they turn around and they say that Harris beat that. When Trump walks into the Georgia-Bama game and the stadium erupts. The dude can't go to a single. The only reason he gets constrained in the number of people that attend is the venue that he's sometime put into, or the security aspects of it. That's it. If he can bring in 50,000 people, they would. And I think the Bama, the stadium there was a major example. They have to bus her people in. Those things people are seeing. And it was funny that Laura Logan put out a tweet that was kind of showing a composite of the different videos that people took from the Bama game, particularly when Trump is on the jumbotron, and it was really funny because she says, "Do you guys believe the polls that she's leading my ass?" That was pretty cool from Laura Logan, but it certainly can be said that this election cycle does not lack the uniqueness. We thought that 2016 was odd because we saw Trump coming into the fray for the first time, and very seldom have we ever seen in our lifetime, right? And somebody running for office, particularly at the presidential level, that was so brash, right? And you got to admit, Trump is brash. I don't mean to. That's not a negative. I'm just basically he's saying he's not your smooth talking politician, slick Willie type of guy, right? So he comes in there and he goes head to head with a long time forked tongue, Clinton. Then comes around with 2020, right? And you had COVID and the hula hoops. That was unique. Very unique, and they had to cheat to that degree. I don't think they can do that this go around because of the topography changed again. They flipped on Joe. They got Camel Toe out there. They have to bus her people in to rallies. The only time we ever saw that I remember, you guys keep me honest, the only time I saw at a Trump rally where people were bussed, I think it was in Montana when the parking lot was so far away from the venue itself that they had shuttle buses. Or for people that didn't want to walk, they had shuttle buses that went from the parking lot to the venue. They weren't busing them in. They were just carrying them from the parking lot. Here with Camel Toe, they're busing them in. So people see that. It's going to be quite interesting if they try to do what they did in 2020. So what his brushness is one of the things I liked about it. His brashness. No. Again, Laura, it wasn't. Laura Weiss says his brashness is one of the things I liked about him. Exactly. That's what appealed. That was the loosely put the middle class blue collar. That typically that's what's referred to from a worker perspective, but it's the blue collar middle class white collar. Backbone of the country, the guy that's sitting on eating lunch on a I-beam, or the guy that's sitting in the basement somewhere in a boiler somewhere manning a boiler, right, kind of thing. That's what drew the like. And his today it was brutal. It was perfect today, perfect Trump. Somebody asked him, he's in Georgia, and somebody asked him if he had reached out to Biden to talk to him about federal aid for disaster relief aid. And he turned around and he says, "No, I really haven't spoken to him." He says, "As a matter of fact, I think he's sleeping right now." Right? that was totally off the cuff.
Yeah, he's fantastic on his feet. I'm so sorry about that, guys. Hopefully that'll be the last
I gotta
time.
get something to drink. I now have cotton mouth.
All right, yeah, go ahead. So, yeah, I apologize for yeah, so anyway, having some issues today. Anyway, let's jump into this right here. This was what I was going to lead off with, and we'll probably use this and talk about it into the second half of the show. President Trump forced to downgrade Wisconsin rally venue as Biden-Harris regime uses resource to guard the Iranian president who's looking to kill Trump. That's crazy. Take a listen here.
Thousands and thousands of people, and they all could have had a lot of fun. Instead, now they're probably leaving and walking back home. because we have a nice little room that probably holds 1,500, 2,000, maybe less. And outside you have 40, 50,000 people because the administration couldn't give us the Secret Service necessary because they're guarding the Iranian president who's looking to kill Trump. Can you believe it?
So really think about that, right? After all we've been through, two assassination attempts on Donald Trump, the issues with the Secret Service, and then to boot, the intelligence community coming out and telling us that, hey, it's Iran that's behind this. Iran is, who's plotting to kill Donald Trump. So what do? They divert resources from Donald Trump's rally to give them to guard the Iranian president, who is, like, again, looking to kill Donald Trump. This is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. It's like the tone deaf nature of this, the out in the openness of it all is spectacular. Go ahead, Tian.
It's either that or the whole thing about Iran is bullshit.
Well, the whole thing about Iran is bullshit, I think. It's just the optics of it is
No, I understand.
it's
But
kind of
that gives
wild,
you,
right? Like
yeah.
how can
But that
they,
gives you a
after
perspective.
coming out and saying that about Donald Trump or about the assassin, like, how, if they're going to come out and blame all this on Iran and then give him less security to protect the Iranian president within a couple of weeks of a second assassination attempt that they say was inspired by Iran or coordinated by Iran, like, the optics of it are so bad. It's like it I don't know. I just don't get it, like how obvious they could be.
Well, no, I agree. I was thinking more or less from a perspective of, okay, so on one hand, they're telling you it's Iran that's trying to kill Trump, and on the other hand, they're basically securing Iran. And
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but I step back and basically saying, wait a minute. Is it black or is it white? Because it can't be both. So in essence, they're speaking out of both sides of their mouth, right? Because it's one of them is the aspect of the Secret Service and who's telling the Secret Service, the leadership they're in. The other stuff comes from the FBI. The Secret
Hmm.
Service is not the one that's doing the investigation, saying it's Iran. It's the FBI and the intel community, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this. I'm going, this is a crack up because on one side of the government is telling you in one ear that it's Iran. On the other side, they're saying no, it's not Iran because we're protecting them.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's amazing, like, they would even host the Iranian president to begin
Well,
with.
and
They
you
won't
think
even
that
talk they won't even talk to Putin and
yeah,
try to usher in peace, like, because to talk to Putin would be to talk to evil incarnate, the devil himself, like that's just out of the question to sit down and have an adult conversation with Vladimir Putin. Yet, and Vladimir Putin, for all of his faults or perceived evil, has never been quoted as saying death to America or,
right.
really ever said anything about attacking the United States on our soil or anything like that. Like, really, there's been zero aggression directly at the United States itself from Russia or Vladimir Putin that I can think of. And if I'm wrong about that, please correct me. I'm happy to walk that back if
Only
something.
in retaliatory statements like
Right.
you do this, we'll do that.
Right, exactly. Which all of that has been, I think, fair. Like, if you,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But like
I'm gonna draw the
Iran,
line. I'm going to tell you, I'm crossing it.
yeah, Iran on the other, they openly hate this country. They openly plot to do damage, physical damage within this country. They're trying to develop nuclear weapons to be able to hold this country hostage. They're a lot more aggressive towards us. Yet we host their president. We divert
Right.
resources away from the Republican nominee, the next potential president and probable president based on the current polling, to protect this Iranian president. It's the hypocrisy, the lack of logic, the optics of it is it's all it's all just absolutely dismal in my opinion. And it's just again um, one of those moments where you see stuff like this and you kind of look around in disbelief, like, is anybody else like tracking all of this? Because something it just seems too obvious. Like
That's the
they don't even care about like obfuscating the corruption or just the putrid leadership in this country anymore. It's just right there in your face. Like,
well, but that's the penalty, the consequences for being awake. Because think back, you were talking about the show being 6 years old,
mhm,
right? Think back 6.5 years ago, how you thought then into how you perceive and think of things now. That 6 years, translate that by the thousands that have been in the similar, and if not millions, that have been in the similar shoes, right? The aspect, not necessarily hosting a show or anything like that. The exposure to data, the exposure to different people, formulating your own, your digging, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? All of that, which is the aspects of being awake.
mhm.
Um, that's why you can see what you see now. That's why I say it's the penalty of being awake. And then comes the frustration of the things that are so obvious, and you can't understand how people don't see it. It's so bloody obvious. I mean, like, come on, just the 180 that Camel Toe has done. I mean, 180 and then stealing Trump's plan. How could you not see that? Right?
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
I mean, and this is where the media also comes into play. Trump played a little bit of a Gutfeld clip. It was in one of his posts, but what Gutfeld was saying, in essence, similar to what I just said, not that I was copying, but because he was talking about the numbers that were in the letter from the deputy DHS guy that was saying how many criminals and sex offenders and murderers and stuff like that were in the country illegally, right? And Gutfeld says he looked across all the other channels and none of them were speaking of it. And here you are, people that are getting murdered,
mhm.
let alone what one can consider petty crime from a murderer perspective, but not so petty from the impact of a family perspective. The drunk driving and we just recently had that where a guy drove a truck through and killed somebody. So you know, it's amazing how people cannot see that, and you'll have people that are vehement about supporting her, and you're going, why? I mean, explain to me other than she's a woman of color bullshit.
I get amazed when I see Waltz Harris or Harris Waltz yard signs driving around certain areas, man. I'm just like, who are
Who
these
are these
people?
people?
How are
Exactly.
you so just oh anyway.
Yeah, and
I,
the whole and let's comment and the whole line that we had way back in, let's say, in 2016, where it's like they have to awaken their own, that kind of stuff. That's why we had the last 4 years, and if they're still there, they're the lost cause.
mhm.
I think those people, if you're putting a Harris Waltz sign in front of your house, you're one of the lost cause. I can't see it any other way anymore. And I'm not saying that we would do any harm to these people. I'm just saying it's not even worth talking to them.
Yeah, they're yeah. I mean they're clearly heavily indoctrinated, emotionally manipulated,
Yep.
and very blinded by that. Pinata, I saw you come off mute. If you want to say something before we go to our break, go ahead and sneak it in now.
They know the most, or they at least they think they do. They think they're so informed, and it's just they literally live in an alternative reality. There's no other way to say it. This is why they can appear to be somewhat smart and like whatever they do with their day job type of situation, but within the real world, they are completely clueless.
Yeah.
Reagan had a line for that. He says, it's not our liberal friends' fault that they're not ignorant. He says they just so know so much about what is not.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it.
You know,
Uh,
that's, they live in their own reality, as Pinata put it.
All right, guys, it is time for us to take our hour one break. We're going to head over exclusively to pill.net for hour number two. I hope you guys will come join us if you're watching on any of our other platforms. So, those of you on Rumble, D Live, Cloud Hub, Odyssey, and Twitter, find your way over to pill.net. Links in the Rumble description, Rumble live chat, and D Live live chat to make it super easy. If you can't get to those links, it's very simple. Go to pill.net in your browser and just find us at 412 Productions. And there's thumbnails on the top or side of the screen, depending if you're on mobile or desktop. We're that black and gold one. It should be super easy to track us down. So pilled.net, 412 Productions. We'll be hanging out for another hour. For another hour here on this Monday, September 30th afternoon. We'll be right back in 30 seconds. If I could find the video. Here we go.
Pill.net is proud to host 412 Productions, exclusively on the true home of free speech. To continue watching the show, we are here to help you over to Pilled. If you're new to the platform, just click on the welcome link provided. It will then automatically walk you through signing up for your free account. If you already have a Pill.net account, follow the link provided directing you straight to 412 Productions channel. We are excited to have you join the Pilled family. And if you have any questions at all, please email support@pilled.net. Enjoy the rest of 412 Productions on Pilled.net. Free speech lives here.
All right, we are back. Thank you guys, all of you who have jumped over from our other platforms to continue hanging out with us. If you're not going to hop over, no worries. We will be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time for another broadcast. So hope to see you guys then. I don't know what the format's going to be yet. I definitely have to go into the office tomorrow. 100% have to go into the office tomorrow. I'm going to still try to prep at a normal deplorable discussion show, but there is a chance, depending on how crazy the day is, that I will have to resort to doing a call-in format. But we'll see what happens. I'm hoping that I'll be able to still have enough time at some point during the day to prep a little something to have our regular format, at least for an hour of the show. But yeah, we will be back at 4 p.m. tomorrow. So hop on over to pill.net if you want to keep hanging out today. Otherwise, have an awesome rest of your Monday. We'll catch you guys on the next one.